What's up, bitches? Hey guys, it's your boy, the Big Mac, 1985, the Caleb Mac. Apologies for the hair. It's been a long day. I've been working on my car. Um, I love my car. I don't love working on it. I don't like it when other people break my shit either, but here we are. All right, so as promised, close enough. As promised, a quick little blurb about the coronavirus, the bird flu, the bird flu? Beer flu. The Rona! What is it? Where does it come from? Is God winding up another fastball? Are we too big for our britches? Was this avoidable? Dealer's choice. This is not going to be a very long video. I don't really have the capability of doing that right now because my phone memory is all jacked up. It put everything from the memory card onto the internal and filled the bitch up. So I guess I'll have to delete all the games and apps and 20 million car pictures I've downloaded over the last 6 months. Oh well. Anyway, for now, my observations are taken as my own. I have done some research. I've gone through. I've looked at the stats. I've been following the CDC reports. Also have talked to people that I work with. I work in the medical field, in security specifically. People have been doing this a very long time. You've seen things like this before. The commentary all comes to a head of there are people dying in hospitals who have the coronavirus. But not all of them are dying of the coronavirus. This is true. For those of you who are wondering if that was a thing or not, or for those of you who are doubting or thinking it's just some sort of Trump conspiracy or some shit to try to explain why we have 100,000 people who have died, not even 0.5% of the populace, yeah, the numbers do seem to be a little bit inflated. That having been said, the testing hasn't been as prevalent as it should be. So there probably are a lot more people than we realize who have the virus. But also emerging, and this is anecdotal as well as something that has snuck out onto the web in places, and you do have to go digging for them. There are people who are coming in for other things, getting blood work, getting tested for corona, testing positive for the antibodies, but not the virus itself, and are asymptomatic. But most of them felt like absolute shit back in November and December. So they apparently had it and beat it. We also have instances of people who had it, beat it, and have gotten it again, or a new variation of it. The spread of this disease, if you look at the pattern on the West Coast, on the East Coast, and in the middle of the country, doesn't make a lot of sense. It's not following the normal patterns we see for things like the flu and other things like that, and because we've been studying these things for the last 30-something years, we have some decent data on it. We know how the flu moves and operates place to place, continent to continent, as the seasons change. Corona doesn't seem to be doing that. Also, it seems to have a somewhat higher threshold for heat than the flu and other similar viruses. The difference is, instead of just kind of slowly shutting down as most viruses do when they get exposed to intense heat, it just keeps going up to a threshold. I think it's like 82 to 84 degrees or something like that, and then it just dies. There is no known natural occurring virus, and to my knowledge at least, that does this. So was this a bioweapon that escaped? Maybe. It could have been a variation or a manipulated version of a new natural mutation, which is the way a lot of this actually comes about when you're talking about biowarfare. It is interesting. Now, in regards to President Trump's response, it started off good with the travel restrictions from Asia and China specifically at the first of the year back in January. However, it kind of fell apart after that. We haven't had an actual quarantine, because a quarantine, traditionally speaking, is where you restrict the movement of sick people or people that you suspect are sick. We've had just a generalized lockdown, and it's hurt the economy and a lot of other things. It's disrupted stuff, and it's allowed the government, unfortunately, to consolidate a certain amount of power that it didn't really have control of or consistent control of previous, and that's kind of disturbing. A shelter-in-place order does make a certain amount of sense. Now we're starting to see people scale back from that. Different states and such are doing that, Texas among them. I think that that's a good idea, but I think maybe push it back another week or two and let the heat catch up. Let the weather, the summertime heat in places like Texas, Oklahoma, and stuff in the South and Southwest, where we have hotter summers and it starts earlier, I think that would make a little more sense, but I mean, not like anyone asked me, right? Um, it seems that one of these things kind of comes around, and there does seem to be a pattern. Interestingly enough, usually coinciding with like an election year for some reason. Um, what does all this mean? Well, that's for you to decide. I can't really say. I don't have enough information, even despite all my research, to really say one way or another what's going on, how this is gonna end up, what's gonna happen next. I'm very skeptic. If I had to take a guess, I'd say by the end of summer this will more or less be over, and we may see a resurgence sometime around flu season in the fall or winter. Maybe. The problem is we haven't developed a herd immunity where like 60 some odd percent of the populace develops an immunity because they already are immune or they're strong enough to fight it off. And then as a result, the virus kind of runs its course and burns out, and then mutates into something else and comes back next year, which is what happens with the flu usually, right? Um, we didn't really do that. We didn't allow that to happen, and that's kind of crippled us in a way. So I think come fall we may have a round two of this. Hopefully not, but it's hard to say. So in summary, because I am keeping this video incredibly short for previously stated reasons, wash your hands, be courteous, and then some. Keep your distance, just as a courtesy. Masks are probably not going to protect you from getting it if you don't have it, but if you have it or have been exposed to it and are fighting it off, it will keep you from spreading it unnecessarily. So it's kind of a half-ass measure, to be honest, but it is what it is. It's what we have. We have to get the economy back up and running. We have to get people back to work. The world is still turning. We have things to do. All that being said, wash your hands. Wash your hands. Don't forget, if you don't feel good, take a day or so off. Rest. I mean, eat as healthy as you can manage. Get as much rest as you can manage. And take as good a care of yourself as you can manage. And you're going to keep yourself strong enough where you probably have a decent chance of fighting this off. I mean, we have an over 90% survival rate with this thing thus far. So if you get it, it's bad, but you have a good chance at beating it. Unless you have a compromised respiratory system or an immune system or really, really old or really, really young. And even then, you still have a chance at beating it. A better than even chance. And I'll take those odds any day of the week, to be honest. Did I mention wash your hands? Yeah, cover your face when you sneeze. Again, be as courteous as you can and wash your fucking hands! This has been a public service announcement. Sorry, my blood sugar's low. I'm about to have dinner. I'm starting to get tired. Had a long day crawling around underneath my car, beating myself up, trying to get the brakes checked out and fixed and replaced. So, if I'm mush mouth, that's the reason why. It's not because I'm, becoming literally mentally retarded or anything. Although I feel vaguely like it. It's just long day. Very long day. So a short video. Anyway, guys, that's kind of my comment on it. I have other observations I'll be making at a later point. Again, you can find me discussing ethical pragmatism on Podbean. That's the podcast. I may actually be migrating to another host at some point in the near future. The initial series is out. I'm having a break for summer. I will have more episodes up at the end of summer, or at the very end of July at least. End of July, early August is when I'll be going back live with that, and I'll try to be doing it every 2 weeks again. Also, you can find me at Scarred Sigma, blogspot.com. That's something a little more personal, kind of my own ruminations and observations on things. It is very personal, but not like detailed as such specifically in a lot of ways. Hit me up there, follow, like, subscribe, share, comment. I don't have any way for you to donate money if you want to. I will be working on getting a Patreon at some point by the end of this year. Yes, I know that's a ways away, but the year's half over just about, and we're coming into June now. So yeah, there's that. And wash your hands! I did tell you that, right? Yeah. Anyway, guys, it's me, the Big Mac. I'm out. Take it easy. Remember, be excellent one to another. Kindness is always appreciated. Manners cost nothing. Be courteous. Be professional. Always have a plan to kill everyone you meet. Always tell the truth, so you don't have to remember anything. And taxation is, as always, and forever always will be, theft. Peace.